China seems to be the new destination for lots of players. Well, they're showing the money and the players are coming. But there is a new rule right now instituted by the Chinese FA to stop this influx of players. And that is that only 3 foreign players are eligible to play any game at all. AY, welcome once again. This rule has affected Tianjin's move for Falcao, Diego Costa, Karim Benzema. In fact, the chairman said he wanted to make that move until this new rule came.
Yeah.
Now, what it will mean is that if he still goes ahead to buy Costa, now they're not stopping him from buying the players, but you're not going to field him. So if you have a team that has like 4, 5, foreign players, 2 will just sit on the bench for the game. What do you think about this rule?
Basically, it's a waste of money if you're buying 5, 6, 7 of those players on big wages.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense at all.
And they're sitting on the bench.
They're sitting on the bench. They might not even make the match day squad
That's right.
if the rule changes completely like that. So it used to be 3+1.
Yeah, that's right.
But now it's only 3.
Now that +1
It's
now
not Asia.
now an Asian.
Now an Asian player, which really there's no superstar for them to buy from Asia to make that +1. So if a team already has 3 top quality players from Europe or South America or wherever, well, they will just have to make you do with that. If they have 4, one has to say, oh, they pray one is injured. Or hope
Yeah.
whenever one is injured, they're going to use the other person to make
That's
up
right.
the numbers.
That's right.
So, but I suppose the rule is supposed to help Chinese football as well.
That's right.
So that their own
that's
local
it.
players can get a chance.
Can go. But is it fair? Like AVB is crying out. He coaches.
Fair on who?
He's coaching. He coaches Shanghai, and he has players like Hawk. He just got Oscar as well.
Yeah.
And I think he has he has a couple of players, and he has another Russian player, whom he just bought and felt that, look, at least we could have those 4 players.
Yeah.
And he's saying now that the Chinese FA shouldn't have come out with this now, because every club is working on the old system, and that's what they used to purchase players.
Yeah, I sympathize with AVB in that regard, in the sense that the rule has just come in and he had bought his players earlier. However, on the other hand, I can't over sympathize with him as well, in the sense that these players are on big wages, they're on huge money. AVB himself is on huge money being in China.
That's right.
Things evolve over time, rules change over time. So if AVB wants to cry about the Chinese government or the Chinese Football Association changing their rules, well, there's only one choice: leave China.
Will he leave China?
Yes,
Mikel plays for Tianjin Teda. He's been made the captain of the team, and luckily for him, he has only 2 other foreign-based players who are actually African. One is a Senegalese and one is a Gabonese, so they're settled. Tianjin Teda are not making noise. Let's look at China. Look at Oscar as well. Oscar is in Shanghai now, and huge wages and all that. What do you think the Chinese in the Super League was trying to do before this FA came in with this rule?
It's a difficult one.
What were they trying to do with all this splashing of cash and all that?
Obviously, they're trying to create a brand. They're trying to create a proper league, a competitive league as well, where they can say, in our league, we've got some of the best players in the world, just like the Premier League, just like the La Liga. They want to be...
Can they get at par with,
Who knows? I never for 1 minute thought the English Premier League will ever get to where it's got to today. Never in a million years.
Yeah, you've been in England,
So
watch the league grow.
Thank you very much. It's never been... I've watched the league grow over years, and not for a moment did I think, wow, the Premier League is where it is today. Well, I remember when Ravanelli, Ruud Gullit, Gianfranco Zola, when they all came into the Premier League, and it was all about huge wages for some of these players who were over the hill.
That's right.
In the countries where they were coming from. The Italians were happy to get rid of Zola. They were happy to get rid of Ruud Gullit. They were happy to get rid of Ravanelli. They were on huge wages in those countries. And they're like, Okay. You're over the hill. You're 30. You're 31. Oh,
And
go to the
England is
Premier
where
League.
they were going.
And England just felt, there, yes, we've got a big fish. We've got Zola coming to our league. In fairness, Zola did great for Chelsea. Ruud Gullit came into the league. Ravanelli came into the league. A lot of these players, Vialli came into the league.
That's right.
You know, so the names of Tevez and Oscar and the players you're mentioning is the same in another way as Ravanelli, Zola, Vialli coming to the Premier League at the time, and the Premier League has definitely grown. So whether the Chinese league can grow is another. It's a topic for another debate in a few years' time.
Interestingly, Oscar is not,
it's not over the hill.
It's
Yes,
not over the
it's
hill.
not over the hill. And the good thing about them in China is that they're actually not trying to just buy the old players like America. Like America, they're buying the proper players. They're going for players at the peak of their powers. Oscar, Diego Costa.
That's right.
Sanchez, they want Sanchez.
Sanchez as well.
So they're not just going to buy a player like Rooney or a player like
Rooney. Rooney's spent force, you think?
no, not spent force, but players that have done it all.
Done it all, right?
Players that have done it all and are reaching the end of their careers, and they might just want a large paycheck.
What's your prediction? The Chinese league in the next 5 years?
I think they'll have more top-class players there.
More.
I really do. And I believe the rule might change again because of the influence of the owners and everyone in China.
Do you think they will need to keep on splashing the mega box to get them? Or players will just walk in there regularly?
No, they will need to still, for China to take a top player from Chelsea, Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid, you need to spend a lot. You need to pay over the odds on wages. And that's what they're doing to Costa, for instance. So if Costa is on 150 grand a week and Chelsea offer him a new contract of 220 grand a week,
China have to give him
530 grand, which is what they're offering him. My head will get turned by that.
As well as mine.